Hello, my name is Michael Higgins. I'm an instructional systems designer with over 5 years of facilitation and instructional design experience. I have worked in multiple market sectors from defense to healthcare, and throughout my career, I noticed that empathy is a highly desired and necessary soft skill. We use empathy in all aspects of our lives, both personally and professionally, so understanding how empathy works as cognitive processes can help us understand how to deliver empathy effectively overall. This is part 1 of 3 in a series on the topic, so if you'd like to know more, like and subscribe to my channel. Today's agenda includes 3 major sections. First, we will define empathy in the field of psychology. Secondly, we'll obtain our natural empathy score according to the empathy quiz. And finally, we will work with the simulation exercise of the empathy mechanism. So what is empathy? First, we have to define it. Empathy has 2 categorical processes. One is emotional empathy, and the other is cognitive empathy. Emotional empathy, the most overt of the 2 cognitive types, develops initially during childhood, then honed during adulthood. It consists of 3 elements. First, sharing the same emotion as another person. Second, personal distress, which arises from observing or understanding the distress of another. And finally, feeling compassion, otherwise known as empathetic concern. Now that we've examined the more overt aspect of empathy, let's talk about the other side of our empathetic process, cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy relies on behavior as opposed to emotions in order to generate empathy for someone else. It accomplishes this using 2 aspects of the theory of mind, or rather, understanding that someone else's thoughts are different from our own. We develop this as well in childhood, but not until approximately 3 or 5 years old. 2 theories in psychology explain how this occurs, the simulation view and the theory view. These views do not compete with each other, rather they work together in the brain and people use them simultaneously. The simulation view states that individuals imagine themselves in other people's places to draw conclusions about their thoughts and feelings. This cognitive process places you in the other person's shoes, so you can understand why they are feeling what they feel and how they feel. The theory view states that individuals develop theories about the human thought and behavior, then use those theories to predict and explain others' actions. The cognitive side of empathy bases itself on the observable behavior of other individuals instead of relying on emotional responses to distress. Now that we have taken a look at the 2 sides of empathy, take a moment to go through the empathy quiz. Pause the video, do the quiz, then come back and reflect on the following questions. Did your score surprise you? And if so, why? And how do you think your natural empathy score impacts your relationships in the workplace? I think as a facilitator, it's important to be transparent, so I've placed my scores here for you to see. I scored a 75 out of 110, which indicates a moderate level of empathy. I show you this to say that you should take your score at face value, and instead of viewing it as a cap on your empathetic capability, utilize it as a launching pad to determine your empathy journey trajectory. In future segments, we will dive deeper into what behaviors display empathy and how you can leverage that in your personal and professional lives. Remember, you can always improve your empathy, no matter what your score is. Our second activity is the empathy simulation. Take a moment to pause the video and read the excerpt from the individual to the left. As you read, notice their body language, facial expressions, and imagine what tone you think they would have as they say this. Once you are finished reading, resume the video and answer the next set of questions. Reflect on the following. Number 1, how did this make you feel? Number 2, how do you think the person in the image feels? And number 3, is there a difference between what you feel and what you think the person feels? Now that you've had a chance to reflect on the questions, let's discuss the simulation in more detail. First, emotional empathy is the emotional reaction you have to the scenario. The answer you gave to question 1 reflects this empathetic response. I designed the quote and the scenario to give you some degree of emotional distress and make you share a similar feeling to the person in the image. The second and third questions reflect cognitive empathy. You created theories about what the person feels or thinks based on their behavior and word choice. Cognitive empathy is all about understanding someone or something experiencing distress, even if you yourself may not feel that distress. Thank you so much for participating and watching today's video. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this. I definitely appreciate your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.